What is up? Welcome back to Uncle Rico's Storytime. I'm Rico. This is Chico. You suave bastard. I'm in the middle of a shitstorm. I know I filmed one earlier. I thought it was important that I kind of document, I guess, some of the shit that goes along with my depression. Try to get through this without breaking down like normal. Just hasn't been a good couple of weeks. Hand is infected. It was going really good, and then started rehab, and then it just about a week ago it just kind of swelled up. There was a bump, and then I didn't have any range of motion. Where my rehab was progressing to the point where I was doing things, this reset me back to zero. So I'm on double antibiotics, and it's getting better, but as soon as this is finally done, then I am reset back to zero and have to start it all over again. So I can't play hockey this year. Truck is running like shit. That weird typewriter sound in my dashboard is now faulted out my whole radio. It was just the display, so I was able to link up with my Bluetooth, and then the battery died, and the wires were all corroded and everything, so we had to resplice the new wires on there and everything, and now I can't get the radio to sync up, which is fucking maddening. I've been just playing my cell phone in the car with that fucking tinny ass sound. Just bring a Bluetooth speaker, I suppose. Wanna get over there, baby cheek? Baby, go ahead, baby cheeks. You wanna stay with me, don't you? It's okay. What else happened? Oh, I had I felt like I was getting better, but today I flipped out on my physical therapist. This weekend a good buddy was in town, my oldest friend, and I love his wife, and they hit me up last minute, but still had time to make it out there and hang out with them for a little bit. I started kind of freaking out a little bit though, so I left early. Then I had play planned. Stupid church play. It's I'm a volunteer big brother. My little brother's moved away to Ohio, but I'm still friends with his. I guess it would be his. I mean, it turns out they're no relation, but they told him it was his aunt and grandma, or niece and aunt, that he was living with when I met him. He's in Ohio with his mom now and doing really, really good. I think it was her getting away from shitty men that did the trick. But that's beside the point. I don't fucking know where I was going with that. Oh, she I had a church Christmas play, and then I had a Christmas party after that I made excuses. I told him my hand was, use that as an excuse to not go. This was all really important stuff that I knew I should be going as I'm canceling. Using my hand as an excuse, but I could tell, I mean, the way other things were going, I could tell that, I was just in one of my down periods. Today was another shitty day.
What's up, buddy?
And was just trying to lay low. My because I can't do anything with my hand. I can't keep my lower legs healthy, my cardio healthy. That's the key to my back and neck pain. And now my knee and back, my neck and my back are driving me crazy. So I went to my weekly stretch, my PT, my physical therapy appointment, and I could tell my PT, she's great, my girl is great, but when she's in a bad mood, or if we're ever talking and like I disagree with her, I can feel her like take it out on me, which I'm trying to play hockey every week, so I don't mind her doing that, and pushing me to that point. So I never really brought it up. Today she was kind of ornery, but I had told her previously that I'm just in a lot of pain right now because of, not being able to do anything. I'm no longer trying to play hockey every week with a herniated disc, which is fucking stupid. But I had recovered and gotten to the point rehabbing wise where it was an attainable goal. Now I'm trying to get out of bed. When your back starts hurting you, it affects everything. So I go into my stretch appointment, and she's ornery, I'm ornery. We kind of start hitting each other a little verbally, just arguing, banter. It's normal with us. I don't even know what the fuck it was. What were we talking about? Oh my god! Some kids flipped the road. Some kids on the interstate rolled down the window and they said, your car is shitty. And she kept trying to dwell on it, and I'm like, and see other stuff there, and I'm like, hun, it's just kids being fucking stupid. They're, they're fucking idiots. We were idiots when we were younger. They're just dumb. They're fucking dumb. She's like, oh, this and that. And she starts telling me, the way that I kept trying to shoot it down. Like I didn't want to hear it, change the story, change the subject. And she just really wanted to get it out, and it took a while. And she would stop stretching me and was like stopped, like, and talking for minutes, which she normally doesn't do. She was worked up. I know that for sure. But I did exasperate things, and I am ashamed of what I did. Not ashamed, but embarrassed. Not embarrassed. Sad that it's gonna leave a mark. But we were talking about we were talking about something stupid, and then the kids, and it turns out she said, and I know that it's because I look young and everything. I go, yeah, they were trying to hit on you, or fucking, they're kids, they're dumb. And she's like, oh, I had all this stuff planned, and she was gonna tell. I go, don't tell me all the inside. I go, please don't. Don't go through them all. And she goes, oh, I won't. It was choice stuff. Instead, I was like, it's not your fault. Your mother aged like an avocado, and mine ages, and mine aged young. I'm like, what? I was like, oh man, a fucking avocado. And I go, were these guys Mexicans? And she goes, what? No, they were white. And I go, oh, and I kind of let her finish that, and I just stopped talking, because I was like, once I realized that there was race involved, I was like, okay, it was just something that is normal in life, but to her it took a different meaning. probably. So I just let it go, and then we were talking about something music. Oh, that was probably race too. But I mean, I know that it was race now when I'm thinking back on it. But something about music, and it was Beyonce, and I was like, yeah, she hasn't put out a banger in like 15 years, 10 years. And she goes, what? Cowboy Carter? And I go, I don't know if that's a song or the name of the. I know she did try to do a country one. I've heard songs when I'm in the supermarket, and it's bad. And she's like, oh yeah, da, da, da. I go, no. If you're a music, I mean, if you're a music lover, you know, there's not one goddamn song on that CD you play at a party. And that's my definition of a banger. If you throw it on, not, this people will get a kick out of this. You know, my buddy would always play the fucking Gordon Lightfoot song, and I'm like, Jesus, man. And I think everybody knows that I don't have a filter at this point. At one point, I was like, dude, you really know how to fucking take the sales out of a party. He's like, no. I go, no, nobody fucking. You were the only one that really enjoyed that song being played at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning when we're doing lines. So, hi, buddy. Welcome back. I love you. Yes, I do. So she starts arguing about, you know, that being, you know, a credible source, and I was like, it's not a fucking. This isn't up for debate. I'm telling you that is how I judge whether or not a song is a banger. You can play it in public and people don't. Not to that extreme, but I was like, you play it in public and fucking people are like, oh yeah, this one, nice. You don't play a fucking Beyonce song in the last 15 years or so. I don't know what the fuck she's been doing. Lemonade, I heard people talking about Lemonade. But, I mean, Kelly Rowland was always the better, hotter one. But I said something about, you know, that being my definition, and then she's like, oh, well, the Grammys have something else to say about that. And I go, are you fucking serious right now? If you're a fucking music lover, you don't ever fucking, what the fuck, what? And she's like, yeah, you heard me, the Grammys fucking have some, and I go, before she said, I said, are you gonna stick with that? You good? Final answer? No takebacks. And I go, and something, like, we were talking about something else, but as we're doing this, she's getting angry and really giving it to me. And she's yelling at me to relax. I'm telling her that I'm in pain. I can't relax. At one point, she stops and she's like, "You need to tell me why." She like she was like holding on my arm, and then like, because it wouldn't drop again right away, I guess. She's like, "You need to relax," and I'm like, "I cannot relax. I am in a considerable amount of pain. I am at probably the worst point physically. My body is at the worst point that it has ever been in since we've been seeing each other, since I've been seeing you." And she stands apart with her. She stands away from me with her arms crossed. I'm trying to ignore. Like, I at one point I said, "Like, can we just finish, please?" I said, "Are we finished?" And she goes, "No. You're gonna tell me why you're resisting me." And so I sat there for like another 20 seconds, and finally I got up and I started drinking. I grabbed some water, and she's like, "You know, you can just tell me what's bothering you." And I go, "I am in fucking pain. I cannot relax because you're putting me through a considerable amount of pain." And I go, that was when I was like, "Are we done?" And she goes, "No, I still have to do the other side." And I go, I think we're done. You're not doing anything. I don't want to sit here. I go, we're done. I looked at the clock. I'm like, close enough. She's like, I really have to do the other side. You're gonna be in pain. And I go, I know I am, but I don't. I gotta go. I'm gonna go. Um, she said something else about it, and I go, it's okay, it's fine. You know, obviously charge me. It's fine. I'm gonna go. It's. So I start walking away, and she says something about next week, and she's like, well, don't do it next week. I go, cancel next week. And so I left, and then she texted me right away, and I typed up some really nasty texts, and then deleted them all, and just played the kind of took the higher role. I mean, I don't know. I am freaking out. I could be freaking out, you know. But she was, you know, it wasn't a fucking relief session. It was she was fucking putting me through the ringer. And when I told her about how much pain I was in, she goes, okay, this is you're really not gonna like this. She just fucking started wailing on my neck. And again, I get it if we're trying to get over something in order to make me be able to play. But yeah, again, it was unneeded. It was a bad experience, and I was like, she texted me later and was like, that was weird. And I typed up, yeah, that was definitely weird. It felt like a Spanish Inquisition. I felt like you were mad about those kids and you took it out on me. I told you that I was in pain. It got worse. At one point you stopped doing anything. But she had said, like, earlier, like, when she reached out to me text-wise, she was like, that was weird. You know, I can transfer you to Amber if you want a lighter touch, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, a little biting thing at the end. You know, it was like, I thought it was rude. I thought we were cool. I'm like, yeah, that's great. I think that'd be best. Thank you for everything you've done. You know, sorry about the way I left. And then, you know, she kind of came back again about it being rude and everything. And I just haven't responded to that. I was afraid about what I was going to do. I typed up something that was, I was like, oh, just cancel me. But I deleted that, and I won't. So, but that, yeah, it's, fucking lost in fantasy football. First week of the playoffs. Although today was weird. Although this year was weird because my first round guy always goes down. Always goes down. One year I had the number one pick in all three drafts. And I go, fuck it, I'm taking Tom Brady. He had just thrown for like 43 passing touchdowns. He just ripped it up. I think it was with Moss, maybe. Something like that. But he was killing it. And that was the year that he went down on like the fifth play. So I've always had this curse, but I took McCaffrey because I was scared. I'm always scared about playing San Francisco. As a Packer fan, I was always scared about San Francisco handing our ass to us in the playoffs, just running it down our fucking throat. So I took Christian McCaffrey, figuring, boom, he'll be out, but Packers won't. I mean, we could make the playoffs. We're just not a good team. It's every week there are illegal motion, illegal formation plays. And this is something that I realized listening to Tony Romo. All of these every game there's like one or two big Packer plays. And they're always negated by an illegal formation or double receivers in motion, amongst all of our other 10, 15 penalties that we normally get. There's always big plays that are negated because of the illegal formation. And there was one play, again, this past game against Denver when we just got bullied. Denver is just fucking trash. When you go into that stadium, you gotta be, it's like a fucking AAA baseball stadium. You gotta be able to be ready for bullshit, shit talking. The players exude it, the fans do it. just be ready for that and don't retaliate. And we did. We fucking retaliated, and we're just reacting. And we weren't playing poised. Um, at one point, at halftime, the reporter was like, "Coach LeFleur, your team looks fucking clueless, and these penalties cost them again. Are they gonna ever learn up how to fucking line up right?" And he was like, "Yeah, we talked about that before the game, and I'll talk about it now," with a stern look of disapproval and sadness. "I'm angry." He goes trudging off. I've never liked players' coaches. It's just, I mean, there's always going to be a part of that to coaching. You need to fucking know your players and have that bond, but you also have to be the authoritative one. Somebody drops a pass in practice, you need to fucking yell at them and scream at them and bench them, instead of walking up to them and going, "Oh, at least you got it out in practice." Accountability. If a wide receiver can't catch the ball, why fucking have them on your team? Anyways, Packers, yeah, not playing good football. Just really getting out coached. I think Coach LeFleur, I've said it a while now, he's an offensive coordinator. I don't think he's a head coach. These fucking coaches are like, there's 2 or 3 plays, timeout management is crap. It's like they just don't, it's like they're overthinking or just trying to be smart. Okay, I think we're going again. Yes, we are going again. That was weird. Okay, but yeah, enough of that. So today was going to be just me venting, and then I open the mail and I find out I got my little decals for my guitar, my friend managed storage facilities, a few storage. Fucking dummy. So in one of my units I found a nice little beginner electric guitar, and I was watching our team's hockey game with my buddy's wife, and she's like, her daughter, who I'm close with, she's like, "Oh, so and so wants to fucking play guitar." So she's like, "I gotta buy a guitar now for Christmas." I go, I got you a guitar." She's like, "What?" And I was like, "Does she want to play acoustic or electric?" And she's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Electric, obviously." She goes, "Yeah." I go, "I got you an electric guitar. It's a beginner's guitar." She's like, "For real?" Like, "What?" And I go, "Yeah, I got one in a unit. It looks brand new. It's got the little card in there that says how to play guitar." She's like, "Shut up." So I bought decals. I bought letters. She's a girl, princess. So, oh, these are tiny. That's alright. Got little pink decals. Can you see those? Those aren't even showing up on my camera. Got little pink decals and then initials. I'm going to put her initials on there and her name on the back in pink sparkly letters. That came today, and then also my disability letter, my announcement came. So I figure we can do a live reveal. I'm sure it's not going to be good because of my shitstorm. Oh, this isn't TBI. What the fuck is going on? This doesn't make any sense. Well, it was going to be a reveal for my TBI. Maybe it is. That doesn't make sense. Oh my god, these fucking people. So my TBI, when I was in the Navy, I had patellofemoral syndrome in my right knee. And that is a weakening of a muscle. and the Navy wouldn't let me run or do anything on it. And you need to. You can lift on it. You can go low weight, high rep. That's what you should do. But not doing anything on it made the muscle deteriorate faster, because when it started showing up, I was in really, really good shape. When I was in the Navy, I was fucking tip top. It was like 170 pounds, something like that. But yeah, I was in shape. So they told me that I couldn't do anything and made it worse. When I got to the ship, my knee gave out on me. I cracked my head, hit my back, hit my elbow, knocked me out for a while. When I came to, I was watching TV in our bunk room, and the chief came down and was like, "Hey, that's what I heard." He's like, "You gotta go see the chief corpsman." So I went and saw the chief corpsman, and he looked at my medical record and told me that I had a few hours to get off the ship. It was close to the end of the business day. I think it was Friday. Could have been a Thursday. But either way, it's close to business day, and he was like, "You gotta, be shore station now." So I couldn't say goodbye to any of my shipmates or anything like that. But I get it. Like, once you know your damaged goods, sever the tie. The Navy is not. I mean, I'm property. But what I didn't know is that they weren't gonna document the fall. So when I got out later and couldn't remember stuff and all this stuff was going on, the migraines and everything, panic attacks, they blamed it on a 5th grade sledding accident. When you go into the armed forces and get top secret clearance, they go through everything. They do a background check, like a legit background check. And that's for anybody involved with the armed forces, any contractors, anything. They do like a legit background check. When you're entering, they go through everything. Medical records, they talk to teachers, they talk to neighbors, they talk to friends. So when I was in 5th grade, I got in a sledding accident. It was wintertime in Wisconsin, and I hit an electrical pole when I was sledding. And I remember laying down there for a little while, and then I got up and went home, and I went to sleep. So when I woke up, I started puking like crazy, and so my parents took me in, and I told them that I hit an electric pole. So they were like, "Yeah, you got a concussion." Brought me in. But the Navy, when I started showing all these symptoms for the TBI, they blamed it on the 5th grade sledding accident. So when I put in a disability claim for my TBI, which I didn't until 6 or 7 years ago when it got really bad. I'm not going to talk about the symptoms or anything like that because I'm going to lose my shit. But the fact that they weren't accountable for it pissed me off. And so I hired a lawyer. And this disability lawyer is really, really good, going after anything he can get. So we had one TBI. We put in the TBI, and I was dealing with the exam. And the VA will send, when it gets to the final, it's called a C&P exam, it's compensation exam. They will send it to a third-party doctor that they contract with. And so for my C&P, this doctor, she started listing off all the stuff for TBIs. I still didn't really know that I had a TBI. I knew what I was going in for. I didn't really hear the term TBI until she said it. I thought I was there for my migraines and my depression. She started ticking off all the stuff that the symptoms for a TBI, and that's when I kind of realized what I was dealing with, and had a bit of a breakdown with her. And I was crying, she was crying. At the end of it, she asked me at the end of it, she goes, and she's like, okay, I think that's it. She covers all the bases. And at the end of it, she goes, oh my God. And I go, what? And she goes, no, it's nothing. And I go, well, what did you find something on there? And she goes, no, it's nothing. And she goes, I do have to ask you about a 5th grade sledding accident. I go, oh yeah, I got in an accident when I was in 5th grade. I got a concussion. And she goes, yeah. And she goes, she told me how the VA was going to play it, and that is how they ended up playing it. So I got denied for the depression and migraines. Fought the migraines and got it. Resubmitted for the TBI. Tried to get her exam for it because I figured they denied me for semantics. And when I requested the exam documentation, you got to go through a whole rigmarole. When I finally did that, I get it back and her name was redacted. All of her information was redacted. Her everything she put down, her diagnosis, everything was redacted. So that pissed me off, and that's when, I think that was when I got the lawyer, maybe. No. I reached out to the lawyer and was like, I'm fucking pissed. Like, I'm going to track down this lawyer. I was going to track down the lawyer and have her, do some kind of a, thing for me. And then he was like, they already have it. They have that information. They redacted it. You don't have it. You can get it for your peace of mind, but it's stupid to resubmit it. They already got it. They're not going to look at that. And then they're not going to look at any of the other shit in your claim. So we resubmitted and everything, but again, they blamed it on a 5th grade sledding accident. We appealed. There's different tiers of appeals once you get turned down. And there's like a higher official appeal and then like a board appeal. I forget where I'm at, but yeah, I keep getting turned down for the TBI. So, but in my fall, I fucked up my back and I have a herniated back, and with that I had to, and I got approved for that, and with that I had to, and that's how I found out that because they kicked me out for my knee. Gave me 10% for my knee, and then I couldn't get anything else because of the documentation, because they didn't document my fall that day. So, without information, without proving that it happened to you in the line of duty while you were active duty, you'll never get it. But I kept appealing with the testimony that basically said, like, I was assigned to the ship. I was 2 months into my enlistment, 2 months into a 3-year enlistment, and then I was shore stationed. Like, what is the reason for that? I was on the ship 1 minute and then not. So tell me how that happened. That was basically my defense. Like, there is no smoking gun, then how did this, why is there a gun burned into my file full of smoke stains? So that was my defense, and I actually got that. And that was my thing with the TBI, is when I first got turned down, it was, if this happened in 5th grade, I understand that these symptoms can show up at any time, but if this happened in 5th grade and I was fucking smart as a whip and passed a background check and physicals and tests and everything, took a nasty blow to the head while I was in the Navy, and then afterwards, I can't remember shit. I have migraines, ringing in my ear, emotional problems. So that was kind of my defense of, like, you signed off and said I'm good, and now I'm fucked up. So So I had another TBI, finally another reappeal. About 2 months ago, I got a notification that they made a decision on my TBI appeal. So I ran to the computer. Took me like a full day to log in to the VA system and pull up that it wasn't a decision. They actually kicked it back down again for another CMP exam. So I go in, talk to another doctor. This time it's this African dude, Samuel, who was, I went for the first time, and it wasn't for the TBI, it was for something else. And I was late. I drove to a completely different place. I started driving, there's this 202 loop where I live that drives around the city, and I always drive that to hockey. And so this day, sometimes when I drive places, I just kind of forget where I'm going and just drive to where I normally go. But I drive down there and I get out and I get out of my truck and I go to grab my hockey stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm driving to a very, very important compensation exam. So I'm 15 minutes late. I always try to be, 15 minutes early. This I was shooting for a half hour early. I was 15 minutes late. He made me sit there for another 15 minutes, put a timer up there. We talked for 15 minutes and then he was like, boop, that's it. And that was it. And whatever I was applying for, I got turned down. So for this last TBI thing, it was the same dude. And I was early this time, but same dude, he doesn't mess around. But through our exam, he basically, at the end of it, he's like, I have to ask you about this 5th grade sledding accident. And I fucking lost it. And I explained to him what was going on. And he said, well, if this happened in 5th grade and they did an exam of you when you were 18, then they're signing off and saying that you were good. And then if this happened after your service, then it must have happened during your service. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said during the appeal. And he's like, well, because of this documentation, and the research and everything, this should push through this time. And so that's what I thought this letter was for, which is a good thing, because a TBI decision is a big deal, and I don't want to, it was be unwise to open that up in the middle of a shitstorm, because it's just going to be denied anyways. But this is through the appeal of the TBI. They send me a letter that says we noticed, they call it duty to assist errors. They said, hey, we found duty to assist errors with your right knee and your left hip because of my back issue. My left leg will go numb. It's like when you've been sitting on your hand, like numb, like pins and needles kind of thing. So they said, we found duty to assist error with your right knee and your left hip. And so they just hit me up yesterday to make the appointment for those CMPs, because what they do when they find a duty to assist is reopen it, basically. Like, hey, we saw we fucked up. So, and that's what this is for. This is, we reached a decision. Your evidence in a higher level review, only the evidence in your file when we make the decision is final. Evidence came in after we made this decision. So these are, I'm sure these are going to be denied for, oh, these are the duty to assist. This is just letting me know that these were duty to assist. Okay. Okay, and that's weird. Overkill, but yeah, okay, good. Well, I'm glad I didn't get denied for that tonight. So I'm just going to hunker down for the rest of the night and weather the storm. me and my cute doggies. Every time I have these low points, I try to do something. I force myself to get out. Today I forced myself to go to the gym and lose my shit on my PT uh, physician. So I'm just gonna hide. We got a late hockey game tonight at midnight that I always go to and root the guys on, and I am not going to that because I don't want to bring my shitstorm to the tens. So I'm going to, I think what I may do, so I like to, whenever I get in these periods, I like to try to do something to force myself out. Normally it's quitting something or blowing something up or fucking losing my shit. But this time, and also with that other shit, I try to do a cleansing where I do, I clean all my bedding, and give the dogs a good cut their nails, shower, and kind of groom myself, give myself a once over. Just fucking get rid of it. I'll usually like shave, but now I'm gonna grow my beard. But yeah, I did that. So the boys are, oh my god, you're so fucking soft. So I think I'm gonna go to my other gym and at least try to break a sweat, and then go and get some ribs and just watch a movie. I lost in fantasy football, so I'm not gonna watch football tonight. That'll remind me of what I thought was my friend did to me this week. He had such a shit team, dude. I was fucking loaded up for the playoffs. All of our guys had green matchups. I was ready to roll, man. Like collectively, all my guys shit the bed. I've seen, so this year, I started off like I was playing early guys Thursday, and they were shit in the bed, and I would lose. And so I started to kind of not play my guys early Thursday, and then notice when the other guys would play, they would either shit the bed or blow up, and then I was like, and that would indicate whether or not I would win. I'm just weird like that, where I always, looking for patterns and stuff. But I saw a pattern developing, and then I had an option to slide in a different tight end and get him in on Thursday, and I'm like, fuck no, nope, we're going everybody on Sunday, baby. And he played Bijan Robinson, who's having a good season. Not killing it. Not killing it like my Christian McCaffrey, or he's having a good season. But he puts up 25 when I'm at my buddy's place. My buddy, that sucked also. So my buddy is like, whew, he's well off. So we stayed at this fancy schmancy hotel here in Arizona. And he goes, yeah, come out, we'll have dinner. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's what I need. After the month I've had, the year I've had, losing my stepdad, losing my hockey teammate, it's been a shitty year. I'm ready for 2026. A nice steak dinner. I'll get all dressed up, which was a struggle because of this. I did rip off a dress shirt. I threw a tantrum because I couldn't do and ripped it off. That's confession. I do have a lot of anger problems still. But yeah, we get to talking, and we're hanging out in the bar, and I just love my buddy. He's a great dude, and his wife is such a cool chick. I love talking with her. And their kids were there. We're hanging out in the bar, just having fun. And we just order food there. And I'm like, oh, I'll just snack off of your guys' stuff. And then when the food came, I was like, oh, dude, no steak dinner. You didn't even order steak off. I'm sure they must have had some kind of steak bites thing on the menu. I was like, oh. But yeah, so we're gonna hunker down, and tomorrow's a new day, and at least we didn't get bad news tonight. So there's that. Oh, my hand, oh, it's throbbing. So when I was into the infection, I thought it was part of the rehab where I would feel a stabbing pain like inside of it, versus you do something and you're like, oh, don't do that. This was different. It was like a stab, like an inside of it, right? Like a ooh, like a sudden ooh, and then a couple of seconds after that always would be a longer, prolonged one. So when it would do it, I'd be with people. I was showing this one guy this unit. I was opening up the unit for him. Dude calls me up to I get a call that somebody broke into his unit. Pop it open. So our fucking handyman accidentally cleared out the wrong unit. Dipshits. It's just our bosses being stupid. They compiled this clear unit and then actually got around to doing it 2 months later. So I think what happened is I went through and cleared one of these units, flipped it, somebody rented it, and then they cleared it out after that. So I show up, I go to open up the unit, and it's swept out. He's like, yeah, somebody calls the cops. He's like, somebody stole it. He's like, they were nice enough to sweep it out. I was like, dude, this doesn't make sense. I was like, that's something I would do, and I haven't worked in forever. I can't because of my hand surgery. And that's how I found out that it was this new maintenance man clearing out offline the units. So dumb. So dumb. So, but yeah, I'm opening up the door, and I took the lock off, and I went to open it, and I go, well, I mean, you guys, technically I'm not supposed to open up these units in case anything falls or whatever, so you can, and I go to lean up, and my hand spasmed, and I went, oh! And he stopped, and he goes, are you alright? And I go, yeah, it's just something else is going to happen. And I go, oh! And he's like, he takes a couple of steps back, and I go, oh no, it's the pain from the hand surgery, if that looked weird. Because I was like, oh, that looked weird. He starts backing up. I go, no. I get these spasms of pain. They're in it's a long story, blah, blah. But yeah, it was infected. But we're on the mend now. Oh my god, this fucking dog is so cute. I gotta go. Peace out.